an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. Let's go. I'm just telling you to fight for your dreams, but it's not what it seems. Man, it's hard to be seen when everybody wants to be king. Yeah, they all want to ring. Yeah, we all want to be free.
Are live here talking Detroit Lions today on this beautiful Tuesday. Can't wait to get into the latest Detroit Lions news and rumors for you folks today. I did send the link out to some of the other members of Lions Nation Unite. Don't know if they'll pop in. We'll see, but we're going to go with it for sure. Anyway, what is going on? Jason Cooper, Kurt Kasperick, thank you so much. And Chrome, OG Chrome in the building. Make sure you go ahead and like button. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because that's what we are doing today. We're going to have a good time here. Mike, watching San Francisco game again, still painful. David Dickerson, why are you trying to hurt yourself? Watching that game, it causes depression and anxiety and heads to be smashed into walls. Be very careful, my friend. I would suggest not watching that anymore. What is up, Lisa Del Lorenzo in the building? Appreciate you coming in here. Good day, good prayers. Greenho, what's up? So look, we got a lot to talk about in today's show. Now, Brad Holmes had a press conference the other day. A lot to take away from that press conference. Brad Holmes was really, I'd say, he was cashing in those receipts of all the people that mocked him for getting Jahmyr Gibbs and Jack Campbell and Sam Laporta in the draft. And he kind of let them know that he was correct and they're wrong. Folks, we cannot judge drafts the day after it's over. Just like Brad Holmes said, wait 3 years. The development of players takes time. Not every single player is going to learn as fast as the other. Not everyone comes into the league like Sam Laporta and blows up. Sometimes it takes players a couple years, i.e. Derek Barnes. This was year 3. No one expected anything from Derek Barnes, and he comes in and lights the world on fire. Afutu Melifonwu comes out of nowhere and looking like one of the best safeties in all of football. Folks, don't listen to the Mel Kipers and Todd McShays giving you an F grade. Listen to Brad Holmes, who I think, in my personal opinion, is the best talent evaluator that I've seen in the Detroit Lions fandom franchise history. The guy finds talent, whether it be in the first round or undrafted rookie. It's unbelievable. And that's why this team is good, is his ability to find talent all over the place. Unlike past regimes like Millenhue, right? Or Bob Quinn I think he did okay. The last year with Bob Quinn, the Okudah thing, that was a disaster. But when it comes to Brad Holmes, the guy just finds talent. And we need to trust him, right? Don't even trust and take my word for it, right? Trust Brad Holmes. I always defer. I may have a personal opinion. Maybe I didn't like the selection, but you want to know what I do every single time? I'm not Brad Holmes. I'm not doing what he's doing. He's an expert in talent evaluation. It's probably going to be a fantastic pick. And it was. It's been a great draft. That's why he's executive of the year. So I agree with Brad Holmes. I love the fury. I love the passion. I love his ability to strike back. All right. Feels like Star Wars here, but it's fantastic. Went back to the 2021 draft and talked about drafting Sewell instead of getting a wide receiver 4 in the first and the 4th with the St. Brown. Absolutely. And now, look, I think, if Penei Sewell would have went to Cincinnati, I do believe that the Detroit Lions probably go Jamar Chase. But when Penei Sewell is sitting there, you have no choice but to run to the podium and select him. He's going to be a Hall of Fame tackle. That's how good he is. We all knew it. We all loved him. He was my favorite prospect, everybody's favorite prospect out of Oregon, and he's been phenomenal. But Lisa, you're correct. Let's judge the 2021 draft this year. And then we'll talk about the 22 draft next year. But you look, St. Brown, one of the best receivers in football, 4th round pick. Aleem McNeil, one of the better defensive tackles, 3rd round pick. Levi Uzrike, actually, he's a 2nd round pick, but he actually contributed this year. Penei Sewell, hell of a pick, right? A Hall of Fame pick. You look at what he has done, it's amazing. And they develop. That is the importance of not just having a general manager, but the importance to draft the talent. And then you have your coaches develop the talent and get the best out of them. And that's what they do. They're phenomenal. It's a machine, right? You have an owner that allows the general manager to make the moves. You have a general manager that trusts his head coach to develop the talent. You have a head coach in Dan Campbell who trusts his coordinators. Coordinators trust their assistant coaches and players. It is a well-run, oiled machine right now, compared to years past. And he talked about this was not a Cinderella story. They expected to be in the Super Bowl. I believe it. They expected it. Like, these guys are all about winning, from the leadership to Jared Goff to Alex Anzalone to everybody. They're all about winning, and that's the number one priority. What is up, TA? Appreciate you coming in this bad boy. Let's do TA. Hey, TA. This is for you. It's for you, TA.
I'm giving her a D, man. A strong D.
Strong D for TA. Remember that one. Says we need Sewell. Oh, yes. Not only we need Sewell, what a hell of a pick. This guy. And he's a leader of men. His motivation is absolutely incredible. The guy is a leader. The moment when he stared down Aaron Donald in his rookie year, I said, we got a dude. He wasn't afraid of the defensive player of the year. He just looked at him like, shoot, you ain't nothing. And it's true. It's true. And it's amazing. It's amazing. So Penei Sewell's awesome. Let's talk about Frank Ragnaw. A little concerning. We talked about this in season, the potential of Frank Ragnaw retiring after this season. I don't think he does. I think he comes back for the 2024 NFL season. With that said, could be his last year because his body's beat up. He's young, but his body is old. You know, he's got the bad toe. Everything is injured. Knee. I mean, his pinky, I'm sure, is injured. The guy is just beat up. He's going to take the time, talk it over with his family and make a family decision. But I do think he comes back. With that said, we need to look for a center/guard than in the draft. You can get a player who could play both positions. You draft that player. He could be a guard this year and be the center in 2024 if Frank the Tank retires. I think that's a smart way to go right here and be prepared, because this offensive line's got to stay intact. We are built through the trenches. We got to have a dominant offensive line. So we got to think about the future a little bit. I think that's important. What do you guys think? Do you think that Frank Ragnaw retires? Let me know in the comment section. Write me out. I don't think he does this year, but man, it sucks because he's such a great player. I wish he could be in the NFL for 15 years. I wish he could hold up. He's such a talent. It's just unfortunate that his body is just beat up. I think we are the best team in the National Football League, hands down. K ain't pressed. Can't really argue with it, right? And what's so intriguing about this, the Lions are the 5th youngest team in the National Football League. They have I think they're 7th best cap in the National Football League, and they went to the NFC Championship this past year. You know what that says? This team's going to be good for a long freaking time. Like, the young talent is just, you just keep bringing more talent in. It's just getting better and better. Love the direction of this franchise in this football team. So don't be discouraged. This is not a Cinderella story. This is a good team. This Detroit Lions team is a physical machine, right? They like to punch you in the face and take names later. They want you to eat crayons after they done beat you up. Okay, so this team is a well-run machine. Kurt, what is up? On the rise, 100%. 100% on the rise. In 15 minutes, we're going to go straight to QA. We'll do hashtag Lions, hashtag National NFL, hashtag Emily is cool. Whatever works, put it in the comments below. Very physical. And look, it's interesting to me. Raw Detroit, talk to him every day. He's my scout for looking at talent coming into the National Football League. Make sure you should subscribe to Raw Podcast. His content is elite. Played at a high level in college. He knows football. Go over there, look at his talent evaluation. Him, he's my go-to scout. Him, AG, they're the guys that I go to. Bro Schmo, Tom Downey. If you want the best knowledge in the game of players, those are the guys you look at. They know what they're talking about. They have been right far more than they have been wrong. Draft the OT out of Oregon State. He's a beast. I don't know if they're going to go tackle. That could be something maybe you can go in 2020, 2025 or something. I think Taylor Decker's going to be here for a while. Penei Sewell obviously is going to be here. I think it's more, we got to look for the guards. Like, the guards is the position right now that very well could be a massive need. And if we don't address it this year, it could be a disaster in 2025, because you could have Frank Ragnaw retire. And then you're looking like, oh crap, I don't got a quality left guard, right guard, center. So we got to get one of those this year. I think it's important. And then next year you do the same thing, and it stays with a good offensive line. Bringing in a new person every year instead of bringing in 3 new players. You want to have that continuity. Have I seen that Raw watch after this? Absolutely. Absolutely. Talk about Jared Gofford. Let's talk about Jared Gofford. First off, he's going to get extended. I don't know when the extension is going to happen, but I fully expect him to be extended probably for 5 years. So maybe till he's 34 years old. He's 29 right now. You extend him to a 5-year deal, and that's going to help probably free up some capital as well. So by extending, you extend your quarterback, you free up some cap space probably this year. You worry about it more down the road, where maybe you can do a voidable or redo a contract in the latter end, but it frees up cap, and then you can get more solid players in free agency who you want to put on this football team. Even though we got the 7th best cap, and it's absolutely stunning, we could have more. You could redo Jared Goff's contract. That could free up like $15 million. If you do an extension, you can then release Tracy Walker, reduce his contract, and you're like top 4, top 3 in cap space for a football team going against teams with 1 and 2. That's really scrub teams like the Carolina Panthers. You got scrub team up there, then you got a team that's a Super Bowl caliber. That is what you want to see. And so I could see a situation, free up a little bit more, get one of these bigger names, and then fill it out with lower free agents, with backups, and have a team to compete with. And so it starts with Jared Goff with that contract. He's played well. I think with Ben Johnson coming back, may have a better year, 2024. Could have a better year. It's unbelievable because he's had a hell of a 2-year stretch. But he could be, I want to be shocked. I'm going to say this right now. If Jared Goff's an MVP candidate next year, because the offense is coming back the way it is, right? It could even be better, right? It could be better. And he put up top 3 numbers all year this year. Literally had 4,500 passing yards, I think 30 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. The QBR was top 3. Everything was up there. And if he replicates a success this year or this upcoming season, like he did this last year, he very well could be. And that's why you want to extend him right now too, because say you don't, right? You don't extend Jared Goff. You're going to, we're going to bank on this dude for that last 1 year. Then he gets named MVP. Then you're effed. You're going to be paying this guy a lot more money if that happens. And he'll be in that conversation. I do believe so. You'll have him, the same names. You hear Patrick Mahomes. They'll be in there. Lamar Jackson will be in there. But Jared Goff could be a dark horse as well. This draft, 2 guards, center, D-line, 2 cornerbacks, and a kicker. Hey, you ain't going to hear me complain. We need corners, kicker, guard, edge, interior D-line, all of that lovely stuff. We need it bad. And this could be one of those drafts. You're right, man. You know what? We're just going to go ahead and get some of these trench guys. Let's get this trench wear going. Good to go. J-Mo only getting better. He's only getting better. 100%. I was so annoyed that radio stations like 97.1 The Ticket just dogged Jameson Williams, and I kept preaching. He has barely had any reps. Look at how the Lions offensive wide receivers work with Ben Johnson. It takes a while. And it took a while for DJ Chark. Okay, it took a while. It took a while for St. Brown. It took a while for Donovan Peoples-Jones. It took a little bit for Jameson Williams. But he's looking great at the end of the year. Is what it is. I got to get that on my soundboard. Jared Goff. Got to do that. I think we'll front load the contract for Goff. Sounds like Holmes won't go out after big names. I think he'll do like a name like a Danielle Hunter. I don't think he's going to go all these big names, right? But I mean, we got Cam Sutton and C.J. Gardner-Johnson this past year. Those are names, right? Like C.J. Gardner-Johnson's the name. So I don't think it's going to be Washington Redskins or the old Redskins and then the Commanders where they just throwing everything at Albert Complainsworth. But we're not in that organization. We're not stupid, right? We're not going to just be the dream team Philadelphia Eagles. I think it was like 2009, and they're not going to do that. But they're going to be pretty good. What's up, Paul Ginder in the building? Note, I'll be on the huge show on Thursday, local West Michigan radio 96.1 with the huge show. I'm on there quite a bit now, so get ready for that. I'll post it on my social media so you guys can have it. Herm and I, we're going to record probably tonight. We'll drop a video talking about his reaction to the loss, what he dealt with, when their team got there, how to deal with it coming back. So we don't have some sort of meltdown in 2024, a big fall off a cliff. And I don't think that's the case, because if you look at even what Alex Anzalone said today, Alex Anzalone was talking about how he didn't want to watch the Super Bowl because he would make him sick. And Dan Campbell said, watch every second of it and make that his motivation. This team, I don't think is going to have a bad 2024. I think they're going to be even better. I think they'll be pissed off that they lost. Now, our schedule is going to be more difficult, and the NFC North is harder, so we may not have 12 wins. We may have 11 wins, but we could still be the better team, even though the win-loss record may be different. Just an FYI, because it is a tougher schedule. It is a better competition, and that's what's going to happen when you're a good team. Then you go against other good teams. That's the whole point. Watching the Super Bowl would be like watching the movie Titanic while on a cruise ship. Yes, that is exactly correct. Or if you want to jump into a wood chipper, that is the equivalent right now. You can jump into a wood chipper. You can, take a bath with a toaster plugged in. If you feel like it, you can always go back to being some sort of weirdo at a Renaissance, looking like a doofus. That's the equivalent watching right now of the Super Bowl, because it's a pain in the butt for us, because that could have been us. Watching the 49ers is going to be tough, man, because that could have been us. I think he gets a big name free agency. Won't make a long contract, more than 1 year deal or 2 year. Yeah, it is 1 year deal, 2 year deal. We know what he does, and it's smart. He's being fiscally responsible. We don't have these Trey Flowers contracts anymore. So he's smart, and I like these 1 year deals, honestly. I think it's great. Lions will be balling in 2024. Yes, we need to ball. That is for sure. We definitely need to ball.
They are who we thought they were.
I love that all year. That's the greatest right there. If you got questions, throw it in the comment section, folks. We're just going to open up QA right now a little bit early. Why not? Nothing's going on. In the comment section, blow it up. What you want to ask about our beloved Detroit Lions. Let's see. Yeah, that's how he operates 1 or 2 year deals. And it's worked. It's worked phenomenally, right? Like, you get the player. You didn't want to be, he works out. You can sign him again. He doesn't work out. Not a big deal. It's a 1 year deal. You just move on. So that's the part I really like about the 1 year deals, is it's not, it's not going to, your contract's not going to screw you down the road. Mike, I remember the days when you used to start the show by saying, if you like some sort of torture to watch the show about our Lions, correct. The reason I stopped doing it because our team was good. So Yeah, that was the days. That was the bad Detroit Lions days. So if you're a fan of the Detroit Lions, yeah, that was a good one. Being a Lions fan is like being in prison, dropping the soap, and a big guy named Bubba starting to creep behind you. Sometimes it's like that, but not anymore because the team's good. So now it's like winning the lottery being a Lions fan. Everybody wants to support the team. Which position in the first round pick? Positions, cornerback, guard, edge. It could be either one of those. We don't know who's going to be available at 29. It's a little bit difficult when you're doing mock drafts. When you're at the end of the draft, because you really don't know who's going to be there, they'll go best player available, any of those positions. If the Toledo Torpedo is there, they could take him at corner. I think he'd be a stud. You could go Kool-Aid, get him in there. He's good. Maybe they trade up for a Jared Verse, right? That could be an option if they don't get a edge. But those are the ones I would suggest. I would suggest. If I miss your question, don't kill me. Is the Lions app shut down? My wife couldn't post pictures. The app is down, but you can go on Facebook now. I think we trade up and get Nate Wiggins. Oh, okay. You'd think that. I don't know. It's will he trade up? I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. It's so hard because Brad Holmes is probably the best chess player of all, or a poker player. Man, I have no idea what this dude's going to do sometimes. He is so difficult. In years past, when I do mock drafts or speak on predictions, it's real easy. Bob Quinn, Martin Mayhew. But Brad Holmes make it difficult, man. He doesn't tell you a thing. And it sucks for fans, but it's great for business, right? You don't want anyone knowing what you're going to do in the draft, and no one knew. No one knew. Do you think this will be the year Detroit Lions finish the defense in free agency in the draft? I hope so. They better. If we're still having problems defensively in 2024, we got some issues that needs to be addressed because we have had a bad defense now for 10 years. And I am absolutely fed up with bad defenses. They need to get this thing straightened away. You match the defense with the offense, and we're talking like Super Bowl. Next year's schedule should be tougher, but none of them really scare me. I'm waiting to play San Francisco and Dallas again. No, they shouldn't scare you. None of these teams should scare you anymore. We're a good team. We're a top 5 NFL team. Okay. So, I think teams should kind of fear us a little bit. We're the bullies now a little bit. We're confident. We could be the bully now. Let's trade out of the first round. Yeah, they could trade out of the first round. Get some extra capital for Mr. Brad Holmes to use. And if they do that, I'm not going to be upset about it at all. It's a good place to trade down 29. Did Brad Holmes basically guarantee Lions Dynasty? That's what he's trying to tell you. That's what he's trying to tell you is he's got your back. He's going to keep drafting good. This team's going to be great for a long time. Will it be a dynasty? I don't know about dynasty, but I think they're going to be a damn good team for a while. Should the Lions bring back Donovan Peoples-Jones because he's still young? Yes. And it's not going to cost, thank you so much, Keitho. It's not going to cost much at all for Donovan Peoples-Jones. And we're talking about a 5th/6th wide receiver. Hell yeah. I have no problem with that. And he can be an X. He could be a Y. The dude is multi-dimensional and he's good in the red zone. Whole off season with this offense, Donovan Peoples-Jones would take a step forward. I thought he did good as a Detroit Lion. Yeah, he didn't. He didn't drop the ball or anything. So yeah, I like Donovan Peoples-Jones, and he's a Michigan guy, right? He likes state of Michigan, played there, so for sure. What about Mason Smith, defensive line, LSU in the second round? Not seen that prospect yet. Thank you for letting me know. I will get back to you on that one. Again, I'm in the beginning stages of the NFL draft. I've usually by this time, since the Lions suck, I've already kind of know everything about the whole damn draft and the prospects nearly. But since it was later due to Lions season, I'm a little bit behind on it to give you specific on players. Mofo Jimbo, what's up? Go Lions. Go Lions. I cannot believe there is people who think we shouldn't bring back Gardner Johnson. I don't understand the hate for Gardner Johnson. He didn't want to be a backup. That's What's making people upset? Damn. That's something that you don't want him to be satisfied that he's splitting reps. You want your starter to be pissed. So that's there. He talks a lot. Who cares? Like, it doesn't, I don't think it affects the game or anything like that. People like him because he's a veteran and he knows what he's doing. So, look, if people don't want him back, that's their opinion, but I think it's overblown. What about, oh yeah, I already talked about that one. Let's see here. Gardner Johnson not needed. We have 2 very good safeties. Money could be spent elsewhere. Corner. Well, we don't know how much he's going to ask for. That's the thing, Dave Knight. Since he was injured, he may not get a big contract. It may be actually another prove-it deal, so it may not be big money. So if it's not big money, you could, in theory. Walker's gone. His days are numbered. He's gone, and Will Harris is gone, too. Their days are numbered. Let's see. Sweat is a big dog in the middle. Dog. Can I get an ultra combo for your birthday? Happy birthday, Jonathan Anton!
Ultra combo! Combo breaker! Ultra combo!
Happy birthday, Jonathan Anton, man. Happy birthday, brother. Hopefully you have a great birthday. Enjoy it. Have a good time. Brad Holmes is drafting out of his backyard. You know darn well he's going to nail it this year. He nails it every year, James, and you're correct. He's going to nail it this year. And you say, well, we don't have a high draft pick. Folks, Brian Branch, 2nd round. Laporta, 2nd round. Aleem McNeil, 3rd round. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 4th round. Who cares? He can find talent. Doesn't have to be a 1st-round pick. I trust in the 5 talent. So if he drafted out of 29 to pick up more picks, we're going to get someone good. Good afternoon, family. Lions. Building. Go Lions. Go Flint. Do you think we should draft a center this year? How about center from Oregon? I would like to get a player who can be a hybrid. This is interesting. So if they wanted to go center, you could do that. But he'd play guard in 2024. And then if Frank Rao retired, he could go to center at 2025. Like Penei Sewell eventually is going to be our left tackle, right? And when Taylor Decker is gone, so he'll go from right tackle to left tackle. And then they'll at some point get a new right tackle. So if you can get some universal players that could do both, it's all good. I don't think they're going to re-sign Jonah Jackson. I think that he wants more money than we're willing to give out. I'd love for him to come back. I think he's awesome. But I'm not going to pay this guy top 5 guard money. 10 out of all the guards. Yeah, top 10. I'm not going to pay him top 5. You got it, because you still got to pay Penei Sewell. And that's going to be that's going to be a big old chunk of change right there. Aiden Hutchinson, there's a lot of contracts coming up. So that's this thing. We need that defense to talk about. Oh yeah. Yeah, he's a universal guy too. He's a universal guy too. I don't expect him to hit the market. I think he's going to stay there. Just FYI. Too expensive for us, Jonah. I think we see what he wants. Correct. Thank you, Jonathan Anton. No problem, brother. Happy birthday. Think Brad will trade back. The cornerback class is very deep, and Holmes only 14 players 1st round. Our top defensive line players, there is big gap. It's a huge gap. Matter of fact, you could see a situation where maybe one defensive player goes in the top 10. All right. Edge is lacking elite talent this year. You have Jared Verse. He may be the biggest name out there. But that's definitely an offensive heavy draft. And I think there's good cornerbacks, but I don't see a cornerback like on an island cornerback out there, top elite guy, Witherspoon type of guy, or going to the Jets over there. But there are some good cornerbacks that we definitely could get. And you, again, like Kool-Aid or the Toledo Torpedo, whoever you want to go with, there is a guy out there. Johnny Wilson, wide receiver, FSU, fast like Gibbs and Raymond, should be good for a late 3rd round pick. Miami Dolphins probably go for them, man. They like crazy speed there. Watch kicker in the 1st round. Keitho, if the Lions draft a kicker in the 1st round, I quit YouTube. That would be it. I'm done. Sorry, Chat Sports. Herm, I love you, man. I can't do it no more. If they were to draft, that would be the end of my happiness. Brad Holmes doesn't draft for need. He drafts for value. Yep. Yeah, 100%. That's what he does. He drafts value every single time. And he drafts his type of players. So maybe other teams value talent more than Brad Holmes. I think Brad Holmes' value is more like he wants those tough individuals, the hard workers, the blue collars, the physical. So he may have those traits a little bit higher from, say, players are talented but need motivation. He likes this type of players. So it's very specific. And he's correct. He's not lying to you when he said that he's very specific. He is. He is very specific. In your opinion, who would be the best offensive line hybrid the Lions can go after? Damn. That's the thing. I don't know if there's a player in free agency besides, our own guys you could bring in here that is going to help those positions. I mean, Evan Brown, he is a Seattle Seahawk free agent over there, our former Detroit Lion. He's one, but obviously he's not a big name. He's a lower name. But to get in free agency, it's tough. You got Dalton Reisner, who I like, but I think he's a backup. So it's going to be tough. That's why Jonah Jackson's going to get a big bank, because he is a Pro Bowler caliber of a guard, and his value is going to skyrocket. And he wants the best money, and go for him. I just don't think that the Lions can do it. It's a tough one, man. Thank you, Mike, for a great show. I would get Michigan native Max Crosby. Man, I love Max Crosby. But they kept their interim head coach there because they didn't want him to get traded. In your opinion, from Illinois or Jenkins from Michigan? I do like Jenkins. He is pretty damn good. Pair him up with Ada Hutchinson. And then you're going to see Taylor Decker go against more Michigan talent, which the Ohio State that he says, or does Brad Holmes make Dan Campbell expendable? Does Brad Holmes, get rid of Dan Campbell? No. Why would no? Brad, that's not going to happen at all. You got Coach of the Year and GM of the Year. Dan Campbell's not expendable at all. Wouldn't mind Jerry Rice's son, Brendan Rice. You gotta show me some stuff on that one, TA. See, Dan Campbell matches the heart of Detroit. He means a lot to the team. They love him to death. They'll run through a brick wall for this man. He is beloved. He is all about the team. He's all about team first. The guy's awesome. And it's just a perfect mix here in Detroit. We will see. Dine Drakes. Love it. What's up, my guy? What is up? What is up? Do you guys want to be big spenders in free agency? Do you guys want to find Brad Holmes to get bigger name talent in free agency? Are you okay if they do a little bit of Dollar General spending? Let me know in the comments below. I think I want to mix. I want to get one name like a Danielle Hunter and then a couple backups. Maybe even a cornerback for sure. Put it in there, but let me know your thoughts. After they sign Glasgow, they should sign another guard that can play center. Do you agree? Yeah, I think they absolutely should. I think you got to develop one. You have to get one in development, and that could be a later draft pick. It's important to develop right now to have a player ready for the NFL of 2025 season. You got to think ahead too. And that's also about the draft. It's not about just the upcoming year. You also got to think about the future of the team, and that's extremely valuable. Extremely valuable. I'm getting a phone call right now, guys. 1 second. Hello. Hi. Pretty good. Okay. 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 I'll do that as soon as she gets home. Thank you so much for letting me know. All right, thank you, bud. Sorry, folks. This important call is about my daughter. So when I get phone calls and I know it's about my daughter because I can see it, I take it. If it wasn't about my kid, I definitely would not do it. But I had to take it right there. So sorry about that. Let's get back into it. Could you see us franchise tagging Jonah Jackson? I don't know. I don't see that at all. They're not going to franchise tag him. Don't see that. I don't think they use the franchise tag this year. Again, we don't. Yeah, I don't think they use it this year. I just don't. Allen, Bosa, Hunter, I would faint. Well, look, if you're talking about like an all-pro team, this is Madden right now. This is Madden talk. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, man, we could bring on Deion Sanders in his prime. Let's bring Megatron back too. Hey, let's have a all-worldly team. Let's do some time travel and bring in Barry Sanders, pair him up with Jahmyr Gibbs. Oh my God. Yeah, family always first, folks. Usually I try to keep it professional on here, but when it comes to my daughter, I don't care what I'm doing. I got to stop. Even if I'm live, even if I'm on TV, even if I'm at the Soaring Eagle Casino, my kids come first over my job, over Lions, over anything. Will Hendon Hooker outperform Jared Goff in training camp? No. I like Hendon Hooker. I love Hendon Hooker. I was mocking Hendon Hooker to the Detroit Lions for a long time. Same with TA. But Jared Goff's the starter. We get to see him in preseason, Hendon Hooker. If Jared Goff gets injured, you can see him. He's going to be the backup quarterback. But he's still young. Jared Goff took us to an NFC championship, so I don't see he's going to outperform him. Is he more athletic? Is he good? Hell yeah. But that's a great situation for the Lions quarterback room, right? But I don't think he's going to outplay him. Don't be sorry about your daughter. Family first, absolutely. Fantasy foosball. Maybe do it this year. Didn't do it last year. Let's see here. Do you see us running different packages with Goff and Hooker like the Saints do? I thought they would consider doing that this past season, maybe in the playoffs, to throw a wrinkle in there. They didn't do it, so I'm thinking they're not going to do that. I think he's just going to be a backup quarterback. I would like them to do it, Keith, though. I'm with you. I would do that. Like, I would have plays just for Hooker because he's a quarterback who is mobile, but he's a quarterback first, guys. Dude's arm is elite. He's not some player that just runs. He is elite arm talent. You could see a situation where he comes in, right? They're expecting run. They do a flea flicker with Hendon Hooker, and he throws a dart bomb to Jamison Williams because his deep pass is beautiful. That's what I would like to see. I don't think they do that. I would love it. I do like Cooper DeJean. Yep. Have you ever seen an entire Ford Field Stadium chant Hendon Hooker? Nope. But I tell you what, I hear Jared Goff in stadiums. Hell, in West Michigan, they had a cheer competition chanting Jared Goff. I wasn't at the cheer competition. I'm generally at them all, but Carly had to go a distance to Detroit when they did that. So they're chanting Jared Goff at a cheer competition. It's crazy. Red Wings game. Yeah, you don't want him to get banged up, but that's the NFL. Like, you could be super cautious, and it doesn't matter. Sometimes the player gets injured, i.e. Aaron Rodgers was like the second play, tears, done for the year. So like anytime you put any player out there, there's risk for injury. Doesn't mean you don't attempt to try to get better. It's just the game of football. And sometimes accidents happen. You can't be scared to do a play or to do something like a flea flicker or a play action. Be like, I'm not going to do it because I'm afraid he's going to get injured. That is not the way this team operates, obviously. Hell, we were playing starters the whole game in the final Minnesota Vikings game, so they're not that's not going to be on their agenda there. I hope we at least had top 15 defense. To me, Keith, though, we need a top 10 defense. I want to see a top 10 defense. This is year 4. You cannot go to year 4 and have a mid defense. You can't. Anybody with an eye can see we're talent deficient defensively. Anyone with a brain can tell we need more talent there. My 11-year-old daughter could tell you they need more talent there, and she doesn't know a thing about football. Brad Holmes definitely knows that he needs to get this talent up, and there's no more excuses. Give Karen some credit, Mike. It was 4 plays. Okay, 4 plays when Karen season ended. Mobile quarterback doesn't mean you run them all the time. It means that they're not a statue. Yes. Rob Newson, thank you. Thank you. And that's such a discrepancy with people that define a mobile quarterback as a quarterback that runs first. That's not it. What a mobile quarterback does is they're a quarterback first. If the play breaks down, they can extend the play via scramble, or they can just go run it and get themselves a first down. But they're a quarterback first. Classic example, Brock Purdy in the Lions NFC Championship game. In the third quarter, this dude, third and fourth quarter, he kept getting first down with the legs. He's a mobile quarterback. He's got legs, but he's a passer first. And that's a misconception that we get from legacy media sometimes is, well, Lamar Jackson, all he is a running back. No, he's not. He can pass too. It's just, it brings another element to that player's game. That's why I love the mobile quarterback. The mobile quarterback can do, if you have a really good one, right? They can be intelligent with the football. They find the open receiver. But if everything is covered and it's third down, no one's there, I'm just going to run for the first down. It's right there. And that is deadly to have. Now, Jared Goff's not that. He is not a mobile quarterback, but he makes up, I believe, with his intangible intelligence on the field. The guy can dissect a defense, man. He's smart. No matter what people say, he's very smart. He finds the open receiver. He takes his time. If it ain't there, he'll take a sack. So his brain and the way he reads a defense is really good, and it makes up for being immobile. And that's fine. It doesn't matter how you win or how the quarterback gets those yards. They're getting the yards. I mean, does it, like, Jared got 4,500 passing yards. That's effing great. That's amazing, right? That's awesome. You can get a quarterback that's a little bit different. Maybe they got 4,000 passing yards, but they ran for 500 yards. Okay, you still got those big old yards. It still counts. Still the same amount of yards. It doesn't take away from the quarterback that he ran for a first down. It should never take away. Why? I would extend it. Like, if it's there, take it. That's what smart quarterbacks do. Jared Goff's smart. He sees open, he takes it. Lamar Jackson, he sees a space open, he's going to take it. Still get the first down either way. Would Brad Holmes consider trading Hooker? No. And I don't even know where this is weird, because this movement has started and I have no idea where this came from. They're not trading Hendon Hooker. They didn't draft Hendon Hooker to be traded, man. He's the backup. He's a cheap backup. You have a third-round rookie from last year on a contract. You don't have to spend money on a backup. They're not trading Hendon Hooker. They love Hendon Hooker. They love it. I knew Hendon Hooker was the pick at the Senior Bowl. That's when I knew he was going to get drafted. I knew he was going to get drafted. They love this guy. They love Hendon Hooker. Okay, he's going to be a Detroit Lion. I told everybody they're drafting him. I said it. I knew they're going to draft him. He made comments. He was talking to the brass. You may not have heard of, but he was talking about getting at the Senior Bowl looking for a home in Detroit because one of his biggest mentors is one of the assistants of Brad Holmes. So it was a match made in heaven. He's going to be here. I know this isn't about our team, but real quick, what do you think about the Bears should do with Fields? Well, this is what I want the Bears to do. Trade Justin Fields. Okay, trade him to the AFC. I want the Bears then to not draft a quarterback. I want them to get a David Blau. I would like them to have a Tim Boyle. And I want them to suck. No, that's what I want. But I think Justin Fields, I think he gets traded. I think they're going to go with the quarterback. I think they trade Justin Fields, take Caleb Williams at 1, and that's what we're dealing with. Not because of the lack of talent from Justin Fields, more of a contract. Because he's going to have to get extended shortly, like in a year. But when you have Caleb Williams, you have a quarterback on a rookie deal. So I think that's probably the reason why. Not really talent-based, more financially based, thinking of the future of the Chicago Bears. Remember, they paid $100 million to linebackers. They just extended Montez Sweat. They have a lot of money in these players, and you can't keep everybody. So if you were to do all this and then extend Justin Fields, you're going to be in cap hell for a while. So I think they go Caleb Williams, trade Fields. Fields is out of the NFC North. Maybe he goes to Atlanta. Bears need to beef up the offensive line. Absolutely. Lions would not trade Hooker now because of his value is pretty low. Unless they could get a first-round pick, there's no reason to dump him. He's a cheap, competent backup. He probably is one of the best backups in the NFL. Folks, I cannot wait for you guys to see him play in preseason. I'm telling you right now, you're going to be shocked. He's not what local media thinks he is. He's not some old man, 29-year-old bust. I hear this all the time. Hendon Hooker's a running back playing quarterback. Hendon Hooker. First off, that's BS. If you say that he is a running quarterback and not a quarterback, you're literally being a stereotype and a negative connotation because he's not. He's a quarterback first. He's a quarterback. He throws the football well. So if this idea that he's a running back, he's not a quarterback, people have not watched tape. The people has not watched the film. The people don't know what they're talking about, right? You're saying this. You'll see it in preseason. You're going to see this guy, and you're going to be like, what a hell of a pick. What a hell of a pick. You'll see it in preseason. I'm excited, too. I'm really excited to see Hendon Hooker play. I loved him out of the draft. A huge Hooker fan, so preseason's going to be fun. We'll get to see a lot of him in there, and he'll operate this offense for a couple weeks in the preseason, get significant amount of snaps, and he's going to need that for a backup role, get your snaps in the preseason. So just in case there's an injury to Jared Goff, he has some snaps in him to operate. Lions should trade up and get Malik Willis. That's exactly what the Lions should not do. We have Hendon Hooker. We don't need anybody else. We don't need anybody else. Oh, I'm not mad at all, Taylor. Don't take any offense. Hutchinson's looking like my little brother. He's not going anywhere. Great defensive end. Man, if your brother looks like Aiden Hutchinson, I bet you he gets all the ladies. He gets all the ladies. He was fantastic at Vols. He was, man. You're going to see it. You're going to see it. You're going to see it. Hooker would have been a first-round pick. He would have been a first without him being injured. Hendon Hooker would be a first-round pick. Okay, he was probably going to win the Heisman Trophy before he got injured. What also makes Hendon Hooker special is not his play on the field. It's his moral character, his motivation, and his team player mentality. He has taken up the role as a backup. He listens to Jared Goff. He listens. He's smart. He's intellectual. He digs into the playbook. He's a leader of men. He's a great guy and a quality player to represent the Honolulu Blue and Silver. He's special. I love Hendon Hooker. I love it. I love it. Just absolutely love it. Lions suck. You guys had the chance to make history and blew it. Please don't get mad at my opinion. Well, here's the deal. You start off with Lions suck. So you're not coming off as being a nice, right? So people are going to take offense saying the Lions suck, considering the fact that we're Lions fans. I don't know what team you're a fan of, but all I got to say is Lions got the NFC champ. We didn't get to the Super Bowl. Oh, well, we're a damn good team. We don't suck. We're a good team, and so that's the way it is. And that's the way it goes.
Oh my God! They are who we thought they were.
Hey,
They are who we thought they were.
that's it right there. Look, man, it doesn't bother me personally. You say the Lions suck. We've heard it all. We're Lions fans. We went 0-16. Doesn't really bother us, but if you try to get a little bit of love, that's probably not the way you want to start out, right? The Lions suck. You can say, man, the Lions blew it. They choked. You know what I'm saying? But they suck, man. It's not even true. Let's see. Saying the Lions suck is egregious. It's like, dude, they're in the top 4. They're like a quarter away from a Super Bowl. The third quarter killed the Lions. Without third quarter, we could be in the Super Bowl. So we had a bad quarter. Dad can't even look. Every time 8 interviews, it's that bad. Really? I got to see a picture of your brother. I got to see this. He's the clone of Aiden Hutchinson. He's getting all the ladies. He doesn't need to go on Plenty of Fish. He doesn't need to go on Facebook dating. He doesn't need to go to Tinder. All he's got to do is look at a camera, and women are going to jump on him. This is the way it is. If he looks like Aiden Hutchinson, because Aiden Hutchinson's a stud. Stud! 14 wins, NFC North champs, 2 playoff wins at home. Award 5 Pro Bowls, 5 All-Pros. We suck. That telling you right there, yeah. General manager, we got executive of the year. Head coach of the year. 14 wins, 2 playoff wins. Nearly beat the 49ers, who everybody said was unbeatable. It's a good team. My works his dad at the hospital. Oh, that's awesome, man. That is really, really cool. Oh, he's married? Well, ladies, stay away from Taylor Alexis Janella's brother. Stay away. He is married. No attacking him. All right, see. Hashtag Lions Super Bowl window, at least 6 more years. Agree? I think it could still go on. Here's the thing. The window can even be longer than that because Brad Holmes if he keeps knocking drafts out of the park, you're not going to get bad. You just keep replenishing talent. So it could go on for longer than that. It really could. It's all about the draft. It's all about drafting. And if they keep getting good draft picks, we can be the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Baltimore Ravens, the Green Bay Packers of old, where you're constantly winning. Like you're just winning a lot. And so that is why Brad Holmes is awesome, right? He's not an all-in type of guy. He's not going to go all in just in 1 year. He wants to be strategic and smart, set up contracts, continue to draft players. So we could be a really good team for a long time. Bears trade Fields to Vikings. That would be a disaster, in all honesty. Maybe Justin Fields and the Vikings would be terrible. You'd have Justin Jefferson. Oh my God. Could you imagine their run game? It'd be death. It'd be death to the Detroit Lions in the NFC North. You may not like Justin Fields as a quarterback, but man, they have a lot of talent at the Minnesota Vikings besides the quarterbacks. Whoever quarterbacks that team, whoever's quarterback in that team is going to have a good year unless he gets injured, man, because their talent crazy offensively. Brad Holmes is a true scout. I won't doubt his draftability. 100%. I'm going to try to get Diamond Dallas Page on shortly so we could talk to WWE Hall of Famer Diamond Dallas Page, get him on the podcast. here soon. Hopefully I can get it. I sent Chrissy the email to get him on here. Hopefully we get Diamond Dallas Page on and we can talk a little bit of football. I want to talk to him about Goldberg match, and also I want to talk about DDP yoga. Get a conversation about that. So, and if you don't know who he is, DDP's awesome. Mr. Yoga, Diamond Cutter, WCW, and WWE. I like WCW growing up as a kid, so I'm a fan of Diamond Dallas Page. I'd love to get Ric Flair on. That won't happen though. I could. He's a little bit. I think he's a little bit too fun for this type of channel here. You know how Ric Flair is, man. He can go off. Is great. I think Vikings going to pay Cousins. JJ not ready for the NFL yet. He needs to sit a year or two. Oh, you talk about McCarthy? Yeah, that'd be, that's a smart idea for the Vikings. You bring back Kirk Cousins on a 2-year deal. You draft a young quarterback, have him develop behind a Kirk Cousins, and then you can do a nice transition when Cousins' season's over. That's what a smart franchise would do. We don't know if that's what they're going to do, but that's what a smart. Do you think that we'll get any international games this year? I'll say, yeah, it's been a while. So I'm going to say, yeah, we do. I say we do. We get one this year because it's been a little bit. Was the last one Atlanta Falcons that we played like 4 or 5 years ago? Bang. Yeah. Just watch a rerun of Hulk Hogan versus Nature Boy 1991. No lie, no cap there. Hey, man, there ain't nothing wrong with that. Everybody likes the NWO. Hulk versus Ultimate Warrior. Caleb wants to go to the Vikings. Please, God, do not allow that to happen. If Caleb Williams goes to the Vikings, that's a disaster for the Detroit Lions. He could be a situation where he looks like CJ Stroud with all these weapons. Could you imagine Caleb Williams with the offense of the Minnesota Vikings? TJ Hawkinson, Justin Jefferson. They got an okay running game. I'm sure they're probably going to attack in the draft or free agency to get a better running back. Maybe they go with Saquon Barkley or something. That would be a disaster for Detroit. Thankfully, for them to trade up, and I don't think at all the Bears would trade the number 1 pick to the Minnesota Vikings. Not at all. They would be thinking the same thing we're thinking here. Hail to the nah. We're not going to let this guy be in the NFC North. So I don't see that happening. Don't see that happening. Folks, we've been on for about an hour, and I got things I got to do here. Appreciate everybody hanging out. Thursday on my personal channel will be live talk. Maybe I'll get a guest. Maybe I'll try to get Bro Schmo or someone on there for Thursday's show. Sunday, I'm 99.9% sure we'll be at the Soaring Eagle Casino live with Herman Moore, another former Lions greats that will be at the casino, former players. Maybe they'll have the bands there. So if that's the case, make sure you guys show up. Soaring Eagle Casino, let's hang out for the play-by-play commentary for the big game on Sunday. It's going to be devastating to watch it, but hey, we got to do it. So with that said, folks, I'm going to leave you with the greatest words ever spoken. Adios.
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan. Your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be fucking sour. Take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder. Work until you're prouder. And all the doubters, they're just downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.